Caffrey right now. It's a new face to meet, seems he's from out of town because he wrote where he's from. But I want y'all to put your hands together for Brandon from Long Island!
How's it going? Alright. Before I start, I just want to ask, anybody here on the autistic spectrum? Lay your hand on your throat and go, on the autistic spectrum. But, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I have what they call Asperger's. Asperger's. Not Asperger's. Asperger's. Now, you might want to know what's the difference between Asperger's and Asperger's. It all depends when you put the pickle. You like pickles? But, yeah. So, when I was a kid, I was going to special ed and everything. I was one of those kids, right? And I know I was different from all the other kids. So I asked my mom. I said, Mom, am I autistic? She had to make something up really fast. No, honey, you're not autistic, you're artistic. You like to draw and paint. So the next day at school, some kid walks up to me and says, hey, retard. I said, I'm not retarded. I'm artistic. I like to draw and paint. That's when they threw paint at me. But the easel hurt really hard. But yeah, so anybody familiar with the guy before me said TLC? Anybody familiar with Love on the Spectrum? Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing about Love on the Spectrum. Alright, so you know on the show, they hook you up. There'll be autistic people and they hook them up, right? Well, there was this one guy and they hooked this guy up with somebody with Down syndrome. And she was really cool too. She was really nice, really cute. And she's like everybody else, she's being really cool, she wants to get in the dating game like anybody else. Problem was that this guy, he was spazzing out and stimming and he was just making an ass out of himself, right? And you know what happened? The girl with Down syndrome dumped him. That's like being dumped down by Gandhi. That's like being dumped down by Jesus Christ. I mean, really. What an idiot, man. I mean, fool. But here's the thing now, okay, I did like an open mic over at this dispensary in North Carolina. Everybody familiar with dispensaries? Yeah. Okay, good. I won't have to make a pee in the cup. But the thing is that I usually don't get paid, but I got paid in a pre-roll. And the thing is that I do partake. And the thing is that I'm an old school stoner. I like it. I like joints, you know. So, but the thing is that don't make me do bowls. I can't do bowls. I cannot fill in the bowl and stuff it. Me doing a bowl is like a monkey fornicating with a football. It's just not I'm just not coordinated, you know. But the thing is that so I'm like with a friend of mine, and I'm trying to stuff the bowl, and I try to light it up and everything, and I smelled the strong smell. I said, man, this is good stuff, man. What is it? Your thumb's on fire, you spaz. But yeah, but TLC, that's a good idea. They should do, like, instead of doing well, you heard Naked and Afraid, right? What about Autistic and Stoned? Yeah. And you know when an autistic person is stoned, because when they talk, it makes sense. But anyway, so you know there's a porn site specifically for autistic people? Yeah, there's a porn site specifically for autistic people. It's called Fortnite. So yeah. And thanks for laughing because, you know, if you laugh, you're going to hell. You know, everyone says it, right? So if you laugh, you're going to hell. But if you don't laugh, you're still going to hell. So, but by the way, I don't call myself autistic. I call myself a spastic American. And but anyway, so you know there's these gangs. There's these gangs. You got the Griffin Bloods. You got MS-13. Autistic people have gangs. There's two main autistic gangs. One's called those who like Star Wars and those who like Star Trek. So instead of like I drive by, it's like it's a heavy cosplay. But anyway, so I'm going to tell you, but man, I got this headache. Hold on 1 second. Too late. So see me there for, Tylenol. But if they make extra strength Tylenol, does that mean that you get extra autistic? Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you. It's my first time in Tennessee. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for this. Anyway, my name is Brandon Allen. I come from Marion, North Carolina, so I'm not that far away. But thank you very much.
Give it up for Brandon from Long Island as he put it on the list tonight. Hell yes. He mentioned autistic and stoned. Brother, that's just called an open mic. Glad to let you know what that's called. Hell yes. On deck, we got Mitchell McArthur. But right now, you can catch him on mics all over town. He hosts shows. This man